Peyton Manning's a funny dude. And with Tom Brady there, I think we're going to see the best come out in Peyton Manning. But in terms of their matchup, look, man, you're talking about a guy in Peyton Manning that has a 6-11 record against Tom Brady, okay? 6-11. But people forget he lost the first 6 times to Tom Brady, which basically means he won 6 of the last 11 meetings against Tom Brady, including 3 playoff games. So it's closer than you think when you compare the two. But Peyton Manning's an all-time great. We know that, with a great personality. And I just think, once again, it's Tom Brady doing the right thing. Because they're obviously cool, profound respect for one another. What they both accomplished at this game is to not be questioned. And it's only apropos that if you're Peyton Manning and you're going into the Hall of Fame, as far as I'm concerned, any elite quarterback in this day and age should be in attendance to watch Peyton Manning give his speech, because he was truly the standard for a long time, and he was a phenomenal quarterback, and he was class personified, and he put this league, he just highlighted and promoted this league in very pristine fashion. I think they all should be there.
I'll say this about Peyton Manning. He's easily the best regular season player in the history of football. He's like, who's better than Peyton Manning in the regular season? And the thing about the difference between him and Brady had the stronger arm. But Peyton, we all just knew was better, right? You see him in he's just better than Brady until it got to the playoffs. And then so much of that was like, well, Brady's got Belichick. But still, it's hard not to think that the dude who's winning when it counts most is better than the other dude, right? And that was Brady. Brady's the guy you wanted with the game on the line. But I felt like, but I'm being manipulated by the circumstances. It's really Belichick. Like, Peyton's probably still better. What if Belichick had Peyton? And that's why Brady really had to leave New England. Because when he went out and won the Super Bowl year one, he didn't make a deep playoff run. He won the Super Bowl year 1 in Tampa. It's like, oh, excuse me. And now Brady is the unquestioned GOAT, right? No one questions it. Greater than Montana, Peyton, anyone you want to bring up. I just want to remind people, through a lot of their careers, that was not the case. Through, I'd say, at least 2/3, 3/4 of their careers, if you liked Brady over Peyton, you felt almost like you were getting away with something. Like, nah, Peyton is the dude, man. You hear former NFL players defenders talk about going up against Peyton Manning. Until the playoffs, at least, it's like, oh, that guy was the best ever. So Brady, the GOAT, now it seems so clear. Throughout a big chunk of Peyton Manning's career, it was not so clear. Peyton Manning was on another level.
Yeah, listen. You want to know how someone really respects another player? The fact that Tom Brady, in training camp, is taking time out of training camp to go to Canton, Ohio for Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame induction. Think about that. We're not talking about a former teammate. We're talking about two rivals. And he has that much respect for Peyton Manning to say, you know what, I need to take time out of training camp with my team to go make sure I watch one of the greatest of all time be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I was there in the early part of the rivalry with the Patriots and the Colts. And I can tell you, when Peyton Manning was on the field, guys watched. Guys on the sideline watched. I damn sure watched. Tom watched. Everybody watched, because Peyton was so unique in that he was the offensive coordinator. How many teams would entrust a quarterback to basically run the show and tell the actual offensive coordinator, get the hell out of the way, I'm going to operate this show, and I'm going to do it on a level that, quite honestly, few, if none, have ever done in the National Football League. And he did it at such a high level for, a decade plus. That's crazy. And so, again, I'm just going to emphasize, Tom Brady took time out of training camp to go to Canton, Ohio, to watch Peyton Manning get inducted.
It's pretty special, and I grew up in Indianapolis, so Peyton Manning's actually the reason that I came to love football. I grew up watching him, but not only that, but he was just a really respected guy in our community as well. I mean, there's the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital in Indianapolis. I would go trick-or-treating at his house. He lived right down the street from my best friend, And not only did he hand out king-size candy bars, but what I thought was really cool is he didn't even have a gate up around his house, which really kind of just shows his down-to-earthness. You know, he was very humble, didn't see himself above anybody else, and I think that this is just showing to continue his legacy. It is what it is because of that.
From a neighbor.
He deserves a lot. He deserves a lot of credit for it, but on a serious level, I got to tell you, the entire Manning family is like class personified. I mean, if you really, really look at them. You know, Damien, I remember one time I was hosting Michael K's show. He was on vacation, and I did the Michael K show, and it was a weekly appearance from Eli Manning. And Eli Manning obviously was the quarterback of the New York Giants at the time. And you know how he is. You know, you host a show and what have you, and, you know, your publicist or the media relations people call in and all of this other stuff. And they said, Steven, could you go to commercial? I said, why? They were like, Eli Manning's on hold. I said, we got another 7 minutes. They said, we know he's waiting. He called early. I'm like, really? Damn. I said, you mean his publicist? They said, no, him. This is how they are. You know, when you look at the Manning family, on the field, off the field, you continuously hear about their professionalism, their decorum, their class. And in Peyton Manning's case, he's also very, very hilarious.
I was thinking about...
The 2017 ESPY is one of my favorites.
I was thinking about a comparison, like what's a comparison to another sport? Tom Brady was Bill Russell. He's the dude with all the championships. Peyton Manning is Wilt Chamberlain. He got a couple championships too, and he put up numbers where you look at them, you go, oh my God. He's like the Wilt Chamberlain. He's like another level of greatness.
Yeah. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.